Hello. How are you? We're going to get started shortly, but we'll let others join in before we begin. I hope that you have something to drink and an unlit candle, and we'll get going shortly. I'm going to light up some herbs, and then I'm excited. And I have, whoops, sorry, old grandma coming out. I'm going to light this up. I like to light herbs. Changes from where I am to where I'm going. Oh, beautiful. You might want a pen and paper. I know some of you are note takers. Have some PC people. I think it's pretty early there. 4, I think. Welcome. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Wait for everyone to get started. You know, while we are waiting to get started, it would be good for you to take note on how you feel. You know, like take note on how your body feels, take note on how your energy feels, because this is all about healing. Oh. Oh, I have so much to cover tonight. Such a nice, neat evening to talk healing. I love this. I think right now we have a lot of healers online. But this is good for beginners. This is good for people that have been doing healings. Healing magic. Okay. I'm sure I'm gonna have to be clicking this thing. So let's begin. First, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. Which one? I have 3 drinks in front of me. I have a water, I have a tea, and I have something I shouldn't, Diet Pepsi. I call it Pepsi. So I can't drink that. but I will after. I like to have a little bit of sugar. Okay. Welcome. So this I wanted to do, and I really have a call to do more things. And a lot of it is also going to go in the direction of my culture or cultures. I don't have. But I feel that there are certain things that should be taught. And I feel that right now, this is a time for us to all tap into our healing abilities. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this workshop, is because I get so many questions about healing. And sometimes it's about energy healing, or it's about crystals and herbs. And I also see a lot of people running to different things, but not really understanding how valuable these tools are. And I wanted to share some things that work for me. And so right now we are walking in the month of February. And when it comes to healing, you have to look at healing like it's magic. Healing magic exists. And this is actually the time that the ancients called as the time of the opening way, or it was actually the path of opening the way. And it's a very sacred time for us this month to tap into our healing abilities. And a lot of tapping into those abilities is also for us to connect to the knowledge of healing power and healing magic. So I want you to go into this informational as a science. Look at spirituality as a science. And a lot of people have taken my classes, but a lot of people know that I don't stick to one specific way. And I teach many different things. And that's what magic is about. It's about being able to connect with something that will give you the energy you need, okay? We all know prayer, right? Think about prayer for a minute. When we sit there and we're praying for something, we are directing what we want and need or desire to God or Goddess or Jesus or whoever it is, right? The universe. But it's us and prayer. And it's almost like you always have to reach so high to get to that place, right? Like, God, hear me, right? Well, when it comes to healing magic, we like to tap into things that are ancient. We like to use things that is older than religion. And I want to share some of those things with you. But first, you have to understand that when I'm talking magic, I'm talking about magic like it's a science. I'm talking about vibration. I'm talking about frequency. I'm talking about life force, our auric body, our biorhythm. And this is really important because when we focus on our present day, we will have a higher vibration. You know, there's so many different masters that have talked about be in the present. And the reason why is because when we're in the present, we're honoring our authentic power and who we are, and we're paying attention to who we are. So it's really important for us to pay attention right now while I'm talking about how you feel and what pains you have because we're going to get more into it. So I have lots to cover. But first of all, it's really important for us to pay attention to certain things like positive and negative. I mean, that sounds simple. But when we are when we're in a negative state, or we're being influenced by negative energies, that energy decreases us. We go into a degenerating mode. So the more negative we are, the more our biorhythm and our frequency and our vibration grounds, right? Where our body is naturally processing and wanting to go into a regenerative state. And our body naturally wants to heal. And that healing power that we can tap into has to do with connecting to our higher self. That higher self is our divine power. And so when we can stay above our problems, right? Even if it's attitude, even if it's feeling like I'm not dealing with that right now, I'm too tired, you are making that change already. Think about how many times you've been in a bitchy mood and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I can't be like that anymore. You pull yourself out. Well, letting yourself live a healing life, you have to pull yourself out of the negative things that pull you down. And there's many different ways to do that. You don't have to, do all these crazy things, but I want to share with you some of the ways to heal. And I'll go over a few of them. But first, I want to help you out with understanding a little bit of the things that we can actually tap into now that will get you started. The first thing that I suggest to people is to understand there's so many different ways that you can tap into healing power, right? But the first thing you have to understand is your element. I find that for people, once they understand what their element is, they're able to understand what element to work through for the healing that will work for them. So in magic, everybody knows that we use the elements, earth, air, fire, and water. Well, that's because there's power behind that. And those elements have a vibration. When they're present, they influence us. So people who are fire element, okay, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, they're energy healers. They can help people feel better. Their natural energy is inspirational. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more for each element. But think about the energy. So for people who are fire element, candle magic, lighting candles, and focusing on a higher energy, outgoing, good energy, is going to tap them into their power. Earth signed people are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And they have physical healing power. So their healings should actually be focused on physically healing people. So physical, representing crystal healing, Reiki, like physically focusing on the physical body, the ailments. And they have the ability to sense cautious energy. I'll get more into that too. So I hope you, if you're chatting, okay, put the chat up, feel free to put your element in there and let yourself know it makes sense. So just having a stone by your bed, or, within, it doesn't matter what kind of stone, a beach stone or a crystal, you're going to receive more energy, more healing power. Air people, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And they are mental healers. And it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with minds. That's me, I'm a Libra. But they are mental healers. And that means that they are really good at understanding and seeing which way they're going to, right? Like what road they're traveling. Okay. Air people can usually see where things are headed in two different ways, positive and negative. So sometimes we'll see more negative things because we're mentally dealing with that. So we can use our mental powers to communicate positive energy that we need, which means invoking. That's what I love air about. Awesome. I'm getting goosebumps. Water. Okay, so water people. Oh, that was the hardest for me to connect with, the element of water. I had a really tough time drinking it. I had trouble with water hitting my face. If I went into a lake, it was like if anything was going to touch my leg, I'd flip, probably just croak and die right there, until I realized, told by a medicine man, that it was because I had emotional trauma. So water people, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, can actually heal the emotions. They can get to the emotional trauma, whether that person is telling them about it or not. Just being in that presence, you will get flashes or feelings of the emotional trauma, and you're able to transform it. And you know, that's the thing about empaths. The thing is, I'm talking about these abilities. We can learn all of them. And I'm going to go further into that. But I think that's pretty interesting to, you know, just if you need more energy, tap into your, oh, I just pushed the wrong button. Tap into your element. First thing, you know, if you're earth, stand your feet on the ground, shoulder width apart, and just let it just stand. And you'll know when you're done. Okay. So going on, water here, I know. But you know, the thing is with us or with water people or empaths, I know there's lots of empaths here, it doesn't matter what, I can feel it all over you. Empaths are meant to transform and transmute energies. When we call the water into our being, into our magic, souls refined. Every time we call the water element or every time we use water in our magic, it's meant to refine our spirit and our emotions. It's a cleanser. So water people are cleansers of the emotion. So I'm going to go a little further on this. So far, I hope you enjoy that part. So I told you your elements. I want to take them a little further. So the fire element, those who are fire, are actually vital healers for our world. And that's because they are able to send and receive the energy, but they send it out. And that's why they are expressive. And they have a very strong morals. So they're able to feel energy, but they're able to get rid of selfish energy. They're able to get rid of habitable, like addiction. Fire people are amazing for breaking addiction, anger, distractions, right? And they're able to turn this energy, this healing energy, into something that is going to grow, whether it's inspiration or just the person they're healing or focusing on is becoming more inspired. So fire people are meant to heal and get rid of certain elements that people carry. And sometimes it's our own control issues that cause our problems. You know, one thing about relationships, this is what I'm getting so much now because it's February, everyone wants their love readings. It's like, is that a lot of people expect their partner to change, but they're not changing themselves, right? So the fire people are able to get rid of motivating power that's disruptive, but they're also able to bring and amplify more power of what they really desire and want. So they are the passion feeders of the world, the ones that are meant to inspire, to take risks. And a lot of the healing that they can do is getting rid of, those things that are blocking people, blocking their motivation. Earth people, Virgos, Taurus, and Capricorn, I'm surrounded by them. They are always around me. I think it's because I'm meant to be grounded, but I don't like to get too grounded. But earth element people, like I said, they have the ability to physically heal. So they have the ability to send long range healing as well. So a lot of earth people might be drawn to crystal healing or to Reiki, even to gardening or whatever, anything earthly, even if it's crafting with these elements. So they are actually meant to focus on tangible material results. They have the ability to get rid of greed and they get rid of fear. So if you're a healer, you might recognize, oh my God, I always have to deal with breaking people's blocks and fears. And you're the ones that are meant to help them get into their real worlds, but to keep themselves grounded, but to have better expectations that could be a little unrealistic. So they're good for touch, right? Tapping. Some people do tapping. And I'm going to get into some more ways of you being able to tap into your ability for yourself and others. So when it comes to any type of healing that has to do with survival or instinct, a lot of times our instincts gets distorted and it's like, oh my God, I was totally wrong on that one, right? Go spend some time with a Taurus, right? Or a Capricorn. So they can usually sense survival instincts. And if there is any type of fear or control that's getting in that way. The other thing is going into air. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, they are able to use their mind and put the energy they want into it. So some people who have practiced Reiki, you may notice that when you do your healing, all of a sudden your mind's blank. Like you just become that healing channel. Well, air element people have that ability to put into ideas, into invocation, into power. And they're really good at bringing people back into balance, especially if they're having difficulty in expressing what life they should be living. Sometimes we meet people and they're not on their path. And it's like, you just need that little shift, right? And so air people are good for us when we can't see what's ahead, right? Water people are meant to focus on the emotional. I kind of said that, but they're actually cleansers, not just with the emotions, but with connection to the spirit. And if you feel like you haven't really been receiving your guidance, or there's a block, or you just don't feel like spirit's been around, water is something that is going to heal that. And the water element, the West Gateway, is where our spirits that love us come forward to heal. And when a spirit comes forward, it's because they're giving you an energy, or they're guiding you to specific things. They're not just walking in to say hi. They're coming into this realm because they have purpose for you and they know where you're headed. So water element people can heal the mood and the vibration of people that are having sensitivity issues, or they're vulnerable to hurt, or they're stuck in the past, mainly stuck in the past, I'm gonna have to say. But that's awesome, because if someone's stuck in the past, they're disconnected from the spirit that wants to guide them, right? There's an association with that healing that needs to come through. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, let me get to my little outline here, different ways to heal. So there's energy healing and energy healing techniques. You know, the thing is you can try them all, but you want to really honor what you're drawn to use. There's no right or wrong. And you could actually become a healer without any of these things, right? Some people use mantras, chanting, right? I find that quite effective. I went through a week where I decided I was going to be Buddhist. I was studying the religion and I had to go into monk mode, right? We can do that. We can go into learning how to channel the energies that we want. But I want to get into, why do we use these techniques? Why do we use herbs? Why do we use crystals? Why do we use crystal grids? Why do we use essential oils? Not only are they elemental and they represent certain vibrations, that's why we're using them. So if we're using herbs, you know, we can just grab an herb and unintentionally throw it into our food and eat it. And that's the same as having an unconscious spiritual connection to that herb. But if we hold that herb in our left hand, even if it's in a shaker, and just feel if there's a vibration and say, oh my God, I feel a frequency, you're going to know that's medicine. And you don't even have to know what the medicine is, but it's always good to look it up. Why did my pepper have such a vibration to me before I used it? And you'll be able to understand what that element, what that vibration wants to give you. The same with crystals. You know, like we heat up our crystals. You know, we can grab the crystal and just use its natural vibration, but that crystal, it's been in many different hands, different stores, on a truck. But when we hold that crystal and when we rub it and we put our vibration into it and it heats up and then we feel it. And it's like, yeah, I actually do feel something. That's the crystal saying, I'll work with you. So we use the vibration, the active one we created. And now as that crystal, which is highly rubbed, grounds back to its natural frequency, it's connected with you. And if it's in the room or 4 feet with it around you, it's going to go into your natural body and have healing effects. And that's why we'll use different crystals. The crystals sometimes don't work for everyone. Maybe it's herbs. It depends on your element, right? Some of you are herbalists and you don't even know it. And it's like, cook your cabbage. You know how magical your cabbage can be? Feel it. Give it a good feel. No one needs to know. Put it in the food. Same with grids. We invoke the grids. So when we rubbed that crystal, we invoked its power. And it's naturally, scientifically, which has been proven, is going to vibrate into our auric field. And you know, the auric field has many different bodies, and I'm going to go into that too for a couple of minutes. Baths are one of my favorite things. for healing. Like I have specific baths that are just healing. And if you haven't seen that video of how water molecularly changes when you say thank you to it, you should. I'll post it. And when I saw that video, it occurred to me how magical we are. We're like, what, 80% water? So if we say thank you, our molecular structure will change, just like that water. And we do that in magic. So we'll put crystals in our water or our herbs in our water or in our bath. And we'll say thank you and we invoke the power. And I love it. It works for me. Nature is one of the biggest healers. You go stand by the ocean, within 10 seconds, your entire auric body is neutralized. 10 seconds. Going for a walk, just like outside, to the end of the road and back, you've been neutralized. So nature is one of the biggest healers because it's neutralizing. And I'll get a little bit more into that as well. I like doing healing spells. And one of the reasons why I do healing spells, and we're going to do one, is because healing spells invoke all of the different elements. And so when I bring a crystal that represents healing for my migraine, and I bring in eucalyptus, which is healing for my pain, and I bring in a black candle, which is releasing the pain, right? When I bring in all of these elements, I have created a vibration that is awesome. And normally we do it in a circle because the energy is contained until we open that circle. And there's actually been scientific evidence that the magical circle does exist. If you cast that circle, the energy is different than outside of the circle. And it's been scientifically measured. Okay? You can't just be like, bleh, right? You have to put some power into it and intent into it, right? Yeah, just listening to the bay, it's very healing. So when I go outside, and I can go outside here, I live, most of you know where I live, right by the water. I will go outside and I pay attention what element wants to heal me. Sometimes I hear the waves. There's times that I can go outside and I don't hear a wave. I just hear like the wind in the trees. Nature will tell you what element wants to heal you. Maybe it's a bird that flies. There's air element, right? Of course, food is something, and be intentional with your food. Thank your food. And you have to think about your food. If you are eating food that is not natural, it's degenerating. If you're eating food that's natural, it's regenerating, right? Our bodies don't want man-made stuff. It doesn't want my Diet Pepsi. That is my bad. Diet Pepsi and sugar. I can't eat sugar, but I post it because I can look at it. The other thing is sound heals, right? Some people love music. So the sound of music is healing for them. If you love music, drumming is going to help. Crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, just bells. And those sounds create, and is scientifically proven, those sounds create ultrasound energy, which they use in the hospitals. It's actually very healing. The energy pattern, that's what electric sound is a vibration, a frequency, a pattern. And pay attention when you're eating. What are you feeding it? Are you feeding your temple? Or are you feeding, something else? We all have to work with that. The other thing is exercise. You know, the things that we don't want to do are probably the things that we should. But exercise is something that will help put us into a regenerative state. Even if it's just a 5-minute walk or whatever, you just want to get your body into a regenerative state so it can go back where it wants to, give you that healing power. But the easiest thing for you to do is be present in your day and be who you are. When we are present, we are in our most powerful place. And it's only what we allow to receive is how it affects us. I want to get into a little more stuff, but first I'm going to move on because I think I went into the elements, earth, air, fire, and water quite a bit. But I want to talk about, the power of intent. And in magic, and when we are healing ourselves, we are tapping into a universal law. And that universal law is the power of intent. And many of you have heard intention papers for full moon. Yeah, we do that for things. I do that for everything I'm pissed off at. Intention paper, that's what I want to tell to fuck off. And I burn it. Okay. You learn the power of intention when you're using it for your own path in your own life. And so when we use the elements in our power, or just have a stone in our pocket, we are tapping into that universal law of intent. And that is bigger than us. It's also a science of faith. Healing magic is about faith. You have to have faith, which means that you have to be open to receive what magic is all about, right? And pay attention to your guidance. What you don't want to do, you should do usually. What you crave, you should refuse, right? One thing that I like to do is I cleanse before I go to bed. And I make sure that I just neutralize my thoughts. I give myself a moment and I just ask to be cleared. I don't want to go to bed thinking about my day or the things that I have to do. So I ask the universe to cleanse me, clear my day, and let me have the power to heal. And I lay down and I just stare at my ceiling and I wait. If you see any fuzz, any lights, you're in a healing mode. The universe is healing you. There's psychic energy around you. The spirit wants to heal you. And I'm going to teach you how to see that too tonight. And then when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do when I wake up is I tell myself how I want to feel today. Today is going to be successful. I declare my day as soon as I wake up. And as you do that, you do start to communicate more with your higher self because your higher self wants more for you. It wants you to heal. It wants your psychic abilities. It wants your dreams. It is your dreams. It is your abilities. And maybe you've heard the expression, and it's something that even religions use, that if you have faith, as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And that's kind of something that's I'm sensitive about because I've heard that. And I was taught that as a young girl. And for me, I see videos of people, I see religions declaring that stones don't have power, but they'll preach the faith of a mustard seed. So a lot of the things that I've talked about so far are pagan in nature. Pagan means before religion, the old ways. And yes, it's been religionized and culturized as witchcraft. You can call it whatever you want. How you call it doesn't matter. But you're already healers. And that's one thing that I want you to know is when you're in a healing place, whether you're healing yourself or you're healing another person, you're taking control. And learning how to become a healer and tapping into that healing energy that is there for you every day means that you're taking control of a habit, whether it's a force, an energy, a pain that's against you. Okay. And sometimes we feel like shit, but we usually can find something that we can tap into. And that's our divine self to create a healing cycle. As soon as we recognize it, we can learn what works for you. Is it a candle? Is it a crystal? Is it a tea? Is it listening to nature? So I want to also talk about some of the things that we can do without having to have all of these tools. And one is paying attention, okay? Because we can heal ourselves with our own energy. So some of this is simple. You can go into chakras. I'm sure a lot of people have heard chakras and chakra work. That is something that is very important because that is our portal of power. Spirit comes through those. So you want to take a look at where your pain is in your body. Where is your back stiff? Which knee is sore, right? Do you get headaches? As soon as you know where your body hurts, you're able to understand what chakra needs to have energy. So let's start with the crown chakra. Poor sleeping habits, okay? If you have poor sleeping habits or it's difficult to meditate, your crown chakra needs more energy. And you're probably like, what? You mean I need less? Because, right, I'm in that channel. No, especially if your mind is spinning. It means you need more energy. There's so much information and you're not getting it. And there's a filter. It needs to be cleansed. Okay. And I'll show you things that we can do. Third eye, you want to pour intuition. You're not really getting it. I mean, we all experience these things I'm talking about. So if you feel like this is happening now, don't judge it, right? Poor intuition. You don't feel guided. That's the emotional part. Or you're getting headaches or you feel depression or hormonal, any type of hormonal imbalance. That's the third eye. You're meant to see something. Your psychic third eye wants to give you some visions, but you've seen too much and it's gotten you down. Okay. The throat. Thyroid problems, of course, right? Sore throats, dry throats. Can't emotionally, it means you can't express feelings or that your heart and mind are disconnected, but it's usually because you've been holding back. Maybe you don't want to sound like a nag or that you know it all. Who knows? Maybe you can't express your feelings, right? Heart is heart disease. So the heart chakra, heart disease, high blood pressure, lack of empathy. If you're fearing intimacy or you just don't want it, that's heart. So focusing on that energy here, and I'm going to show you how to, is good to balance that out. We're going to go with solar plexus, which is really good for poor digestion or low blood sugar. And emotionally, that represents low self-esteem or lack of willpower. It's like you want to do all these things, but you don't have the energy. Solar plexus needs you to feed it, give it that energy and clear it. The sacral, painful periods, infertility, okay, any type of menopausal cramping, low sex drive, and creative blocks. So mainly abdomen pains, For men, they would also be feeling like, what is that, prostate, or I don't know, whatever men pains they have. I don't know about men pains. But they would also experience low sex drive and creative blocks and infertility. And the root chakra is fatigue, especially weird poops. The weird poops, constipation, diarrhea, fatigue, and you're feeling spacey and unsafe. So some of those are indicators that your energy needs, you need to heal. You need to take some time and let yourself have some of that healing power. And just to take it a little further, when we need to focus on our root chakra represents the portal of power, the consciousness of our etheric body. Okay, it is the closest auric body to our physical body. And it actually regulates our organs, our whole meridian, and our glands. So if you're having gland issues, that could be an indicator of the root chakra too. The emotional body is our sacral chakra. And it has to do with our emotions and our feelings. So if we're upset about something and we can't get rid of it, whether it's grieving or something we're dealing with that there's no escape, we need to feed that chakra energy. Because when we feed it energy, we'll actually receive the experiences and the feelings that we need and that we should be. So if I'm actually not feeling right about how I want something to turn out, I feed energy in that area. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. Our mental body is our solar plexus. Everyone thinks heal the head. Well, our solar plexus is more of a mind than our actual mind. It completely connects. And it relates to our belief system. So it's important for you to, when you are doing healing for yourself, you do focus on your soul, your solar plexus. Feed it energy. And that's actually how we begin. So the first thing I want you to do is grab your candle I asked you to bring tonight. And it doesn't matter what color. When I do candles for healing, usually when I do healing for other people, I light candles for other people. I light blue candles. And I find that works for me well, long distance. And if I have pain that needs to be released, like, oh my God, my back is killing me, I need to release this pain, I use black candles. Now, if I need to receive healing power, and it's like, oh, I just need more energy, or you feel like you just need that healing power to come in every day or whatever, I use a white candle. White candles will always generate power. And our spirit, as soon as it sees white light, it's there. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can do both. And lots of times I'll burn both. Maybe it's a blue and a white, or a black and a white, just so I can check on my healing. So if you are in a long process healing, or for me, I'm diabetic, but I'm not on medication, I have to be very careful. I'll use this just to check my energy. Of course, I'll check my blood, right? That's just a prick. But spiritually, and getting the energy that I need when I'm doing healing magic, I like to light these. And I'll see which one dies down faster. And you can do that to see negative and positive energy as well. And that works. You can carve the candle. So I hope you have your candle, put it in your hands. And I want you to put it actually in your left hand first. And we're going to do a little invocation Because this is a time of the way of opening, that means we can actually think about all of the things that we want to receive. What door do you want to open right now? Healing is on all levels: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. Think about all of the healing you want. I want you to think about all of the healing you want and the healing you want for the people you love and care about. Focus on your heart connecting to that candle. Directing your focus is what creates the thriving energy that you need. And as you do, keep thinking. I'm not going to rush you. I'm going to share with you the law of intent. So the universal law of intent is that intention in magic is known as the strongest element of every action, of every conduct. So every candle you light with intention, the activity that we perform matters little, okay? No matter how difficult or tedious, no matter how conscientious our efforts are, and no matter what one sacrifices to accomplish it, the purpose behind the activity, the attitude toward the effect of the action or the conduct determines the whole meaning of the activity and determines the result of the action. And this activity is performed consciously or unconsciously, good or bad, selfish or helpful. That energy and the law of intention is connected to our thoughts. And it's pretty powerful. So when we intend our papers, when we intend our candles to give us healing power, it becomes. So now that you've held your candle in your left hand, put it into your right hand. Drop something there. And hold it for a minute. And the reason why I like to hold things in my hands is not only because do we have the power to invoke and communicate with spirit through the palm of our hands, but when our hands are holding something or when we hold them out, the length of our hands actually goes into our third layer, our third auric layer. We have 12 auric bodies. There's probably more, but so far science has found 12. Every one of those auric bodies has its own consciousness. So right now, as you're holding your candle, it's connected to your root chakra, which is connected to your physical body, your sacral chakra, which is connecting to your emotional body, and your mental body is now involved with your candle. And that mental body is what relates to your beliefs and your logical processes and your ideas and everything else. But now you are thinking about your love, what you need healed, the ailments you have in your body. Focus on your pains. And when you do that, your energy level actually goes in and connects to your astral body. That's our fourth layer. And our fourth layer is connected to our well-being, but also the expansion and the growth of love, right? And from the fourth layer and up is all higher realm connection. So from the heart and above, all those chakra energies are connected to higher realms, higher energies, higher consciousness. So now I want you to put your candle. Oh my gosh, look how black my hands got from holding my candle. Oh my God, it's so bad. I hope it doesn't look like that tomorrow. Okay, hold your candles. Put your candle in both hands now. Talking too much and getting busy all at the same time. And repeat after me. Don't do that. Mother Earth, Lady of Earth, who creates and provides for all creatures, I call upon you. I ask you to give me healing. May all my healing needs be met for good. May my energy be protected. I ask to receive a flow to bring me the healing and security I call. And may my future and my future well-being not only serve my spirit and my body, but those I love, my environment, my home, and bring things into balance. Great God and Goddess of doorways and thresholds, we call upon you for the path of wisdom, healing wisdom, herbal wisdom, crystal wisdom, whatever healing I call. I ask you to grant me knowledge of the healing magic I call forth, and teach me to safely work with the elements, with the plants, for magical purpose and good intentions. Let me know how to connect, how to feel, or even speak with all plant creatures or connections, but also let me see the future. Let my plants bring to the altar, make my spell strong. That also includes herbs. So you put a bowl of herbs on your altar, it's going to charge, okay? God and Goddess, I thank you for the knowledge I already have, and I thank you for all that I will receive. Let all old and new knowledge bring guidance and increased well-being. So mote it be, with harm to none and to loving and healing energy to all. So mote it be. Now we want to light that candle up. And you don't have to do that every time. We did this. This little healing magic is meant to give us our healing power for the whole year. Okay. And if you ever feel like you need more power, oh, I lit my candle way too much wick. Wasn't thinking. You can do this whenever you want. Whenever you want to invoke more power, you can listen to this. So just make sure that you experiment, okay? And I'm not finished, I just gotta put this in. There's a little bit more I wanna share. So we were going to the 5th layer. So when I'm talking about layers, imagine it every 2 inches, okay? So they should all be gone, 12 inches away, a foot away to 4 feet. I don't know, I can't do any math right now. Okay, so either way, every layer is 2 inches. So we're talking about the 5th layer, so 10 inches away right now, okay? And that's our throat energy. So if you're blocked with your creativity, if your ears are off, right? Or you're having trouble connecting to the spiritual plane, this is important. Okay. So communicating with the spiritual plane, we want to activate our throat chakra. The celestial body, so our angel selves, and the ability to connect to celestial bodies happens in the third eye. And this relates to our spiritual mind, but also our process of enlightenment. So whenever I need to focus on receiving energy from the divine, or if I'm calling in Archangel Michael, what's going on right now, take it away, right? I always focus on behind my eyelids, okay? You may see frequencies, you may see colors, you may see nothing, but just focus there and it will activate that. And the seventh one I want to go into is our physical body, which holds all other layers together. So our crown chakra is the power that holds us to the ground, let's say. Not really, but it holds all of the other layers together. And the shell of the crown chakra, which is going to be 14 inches away, is actually like an egg. It's actually got a boundary around it. So when we are receiving negative energy, or we are allowing things that make us diseased, okay, that's coming into one of our chakras. How is it affecting? Did that sickness come into our emotional body, right? Or did it come into, you know, where are these symptoms coming from? So really take note on that, okay? If that person, say they're insecure, they're not steady, and they're physically just deteriorating, you would focus on the first auric layer. So I'm going to post a couple things that you can look at with that, and you can see it. Okay. The other thing I wanted to share is how to do this energy healing on yourself instantly, because you don't need crystals and stuff. So the first thing you want to do is go into Gasho. This is called Gasho. And I hope your candles are burning. Look at your candle for a minute while you're in Gasho, and put this right in front of your heart, okay? And look at your candle. As you look at your candle, breathe. You always want to make sure nothing is crossed, so feet on the floor, and you're only breathing from your mouth. Look at your candle. If you can see an aura around your candle, look around the flame. As soon as you see an aura around your flame, you're ready. Now turn your hand out. Okay, you don't have to bring it up where I am. And slowly open them, like you're opening a page in a book. And I want you to pay attention to your palms and the air right above your palms, as if there's a breeze touching the top of your hand. Hold it for a minute. So the first thing I want you to do is take your left hand, and I want you to bring it slowly up above your head, holding your palm high, like it's going to the sky. I don't know if you can see me, but it's like that. And I want you to bring your right hand down and let it relax. As soon as you feel like your right hand is relaxed, bring it back up. Put your hand on your left hand onto your crown chakra. Bring your right hand and put it on your heart chakra. So right in between your chest. Your hands are touching. Now I want you to simply pull your hand away, just until you can feel some of that energy not too far away. I want you to now take your right hand, and we're going to go down, leaving your hand, and go down, and then we're going to go around like this. Bring your hand out like you're releasing the energy, And you can almost feel heat sometimes when you go like that and push it away. And as you do that, bring your left hand down to your heart. Bring your right hand, turn it so that the palm is now facing down, and put it over your crown. Now I want you to pull it, hold it for a minute, pull it out. Now we're going to move the hands at the same time. So as you bring your left hand down, you're going to bring your left hand down to your heart, and you're going to bring your right hand down to your heart, and you're going to turn your left hand, bring it up like it's a wheel, and put it above your crown and hold. Now your right hand is at your heart, your left hand is at your crown. Now we're going to do this again, but we're going to take our right hand, put it up to our crown, and our left hand is going to go down to our belly button. Okay, so I try to do it at the same time. Can feel a little a little off, but you'll get the flow. So now your right hand's at the crown and your left hand is on your belly. You breathe. As soon as you feel energy, you can move on. So you're going to do that again. We're going to bring our hand up and the other one down like it's a wheel and hold it. Now we do that. We're going to take our left hand down to our root chakra, or to our sacral now. So same thing, and you're creating a wheel. Now, when you're doing this, I'm just showing you this, but when you do this, I want you to try it in the morning or when you have some time. Now go down to your root and you just do it twice. Left, right, they both get to heal, move to the next chakra. When you do this in the morning, turn on some music that you like, you know, whether it's instrumental. As soon as you're done your root, make sure you come up to your third eye. Hold it. Do this during music. Oh, sometimes tears will run. And you don't even feel the sadness. Like, it's just incredible. Whoops. And this is one way that you can do healing for yourself. You want to take note, which chakra was the strongest? Going to my heart. And you go through 7 steps, right? Make sure you get them all. And then end up back at the heart. So that one hand, whenever it goes up, it releases and turns. This one will release and turn. Okay. When you're finished, you get back to the heart. Oh, bring your hand up. I like to go like this for a minute. Let your hands touch. As soon as your hands touch, you go into a neutralized place. And slowly bring your hands down. And if you're like, oh, I wonder if I actually did anything, try going like this a few times and you'll feel your force. Bring your hands down. Your hands go to your lap, open, and then shake. I always go like this. I actually go, woo, wee, woo. That's the way I like to break the energy. That is something that I use. I'll do a whole song on it, just over until it's done. And honestly, you will have a lot more power trying that. There's another thing I want to share with you before you go. And some of the things are, what 7 things can affect your vibrational frequency from the point of where you actually feel like you're tapping into quantum physics. okay, which is a vibrational energy. So vibration in quantum physics means everything is energy. You have to look at the energy that you are healing, the ailment that you're healing, the thought that you're healing as energy, okay? And we are beings that vibrate at certain frequencies, and each vibration is a frequency to a feeling in the vibrational science world. So we have positive and negative feelings and vibrations. So it's important for you to know that when it comes to what is the natural frequency of the human body, we naturally run from 3 to 7 hertz, okay? And whenever we get into a negative mindset, we drop. Whenever we're in a positive mindset, we heighten. And that's why magic, dreams, are more magical and more powerful than needs, because needs keep us grounded. Some of us are flighty. Okay, a lot of you know that I'm flighty, okay, and I get dizzy. I don't like to ground. If I ground too much, my body aches, you know, like I like to be up there, and it's okay. You can do that. So some of the things that we want to pay attention to are thoughts. The first thing are thoughts. Take control of your thoughts. Every thought emits a frequency towards the universe, and that frequency affects you because it's coming from you, and you create the pattern and you send it out. So really pay attention to your thoughts. Who cares? We all have negative thoughts, but the faster we get out of it, the more we're in a regeneration mood. We've pulled ourselves out. That's willpower. So we have to fight negative thoughts, discouragement, sadness, fear, anything like that is talking. It's important. You're meant to break through it. Otherwise, you would have no fear. So you use that, your thoughts, to turn towards you. Why is it so important? So take care of the quality of your thoughts, and you'll find that that will change your entire energy. It's not just think positive and, you know, live in la la land. It has a scientific effect on this. The second thing is the company we're around. The people that we're around influence our vibrational frequency. Have you ever noticed sometimes that whenever you're in a good mood, maybe your partner's in a shitty mood, and it's like, oh, fuck, I'm such a part of my language. I was having such a good day, and then, you know, or he's in a good mood and you're in a bad mood, okay? I mean, that's energy frequency tug of war, right? There's spiritual warfare. So the company that we have directly influence our vibration. Surround yourself with happy people. If you can't be around happy people, light a candle. Is he miserable? Are you miserable? Light a candle. Use something that we've talked about. Music. Music is something that is very powerful. So if you only listen to music that's like death and betrayal and the sadness, I don't even know what songs are out there. I gave up on music a long time ago. I like the old stuff. You want to use music to get you to vibrate higher. You can listen to Mozart, singing bowls, you know, things that will uplift your spirit. And there's actually songs that you can Google, music you can Google, that have certain frequencies that you want. So if you want joy, you could actually look up the frequency of joy, which is 540 hertz, and play that song, and it will feed you joy medicine. You don't even have to try to be joyful, okay? And you know, the thing is when we go into a place of fear, our energy brings us anxiety, right? So we have emotional frequency will put us in an emotional state. If we are, you know, feeling like we're craving something, our emotional frequency is different. And that craving is going after desire, and that's a frequency. And, you know, the one energy that neutralizes everything when we are in a state of balance is satisfaction. or trust. So when you enjoy something, it's satisfying to you. You are in a very powerful frequency. When we understand or we're learning, understanding something, any new knowledge, we go into a higher frequency and it becomes meaningful, right? So you have to think of sometimes we receive a frequency and it makes us certain ways. So music can be very healing. Try it. Use music for 3 days and just see how it affects you. The other thing that influences is the things we see. So when we watch things and they're dealing with misfortune or death or sickness or betrayal, our brain is accepting that as a reality. It doesn't know we're watching a TV show. So it releases an entire chemistry through our body that causes a vibrational frequency to be affected. We actually go through a chemical thing when we experience, like skunks, okay? When we experience things that are negative, right? And so we can carry something to shield ourselves from that negativity, like black tourmaline, right? Everybody should have one of those. They're great. The other thing is the environment, whether we're at home or we're at work. If our time is disorganized or our environment is stressful or dirty or cluttered, that affects our vibrational frequency. So we want to make sure that, we are in a comfortable place. We improve what's around us. Make sure our environment feels like home, right? Show the universe that you want to receive more because you're taking care of what you already have. As my kitchen is a nightmare right now. I don't need more food. The world is the other influence of our health. We tend to complain or we speak badly about things, people, our current affairs, that affects our frequency. We all know that. That's science. But to maintain our frequency in a higher level, it's essential because it keeps us free and it eliminates the habit of complaining or the habit of the things that we're fighting about or what we're dramatizing about. It actually helps us stay responsible for the choices in our life. So whenever we catch ourselves complaining about something, your vibrational frequency has just been affected, right? So we want to maintain a higher, and we do. We take our choices and say, I'm done with being a bitch today. I'm going to light a candle, have a bath, and then you feel better. Gratitude is another one. Positive gratitude affects your vibrational frequency. You've heard of gratitude journals. Think of the monks. Think about what they do all day. They're sitting up there on mountains holding peace for the whole world because they believe in the consciousness of what we just spoke about with that auric body. And gratitude is a frequency. I live in a positive way. And when I deal with shit, I give it away. I do not believe in carrying it. It's going to make me feel like shit. And if I can't deal with it, I let it go. And I do believe that the universe will give me the solution, and it does. So we need to open the door for good things to flow positively. So every day, what was one good thing you saw? Maybe it was just the sun. Maybe it was like 100 different things and it was blissful, right? So those are some of the things that you also want to take care of and take note of, okay? I could go on from forever. I have so much around that I can talk about, but we are over time, so I'm going to move on. But let's pull a card on our healing power. And I want you to, while saying the invocation, your voice went hoarse and your throat went sore. There you go, that chakra, right? It's that energy. Let's see what we get. Our healing power. So let your candle burn. Never blow out that healing candle. If you're done with it, snuff it out. So you can go like that, or if you have a snuffer, and light that candle up whenever you want. And I don't really want you to burn it down all tonight. Light it tonight and tomorrow. If you can get 3 lights out of it, it's going to be very effective for you. Okay. So let's see what we have. If you have any questions, feel free to put in the chat. You know, even when we see numbers, right? So like if you're driving and all of a sudden you see 111, that is medicine. The ego you see is medicine. And start looking for medicines, that signs, synchronicities. Use the universe as your medicine. Okay. So like 111, say you get 1111. Well, that's a message that you're co-creating with the universe. There's no separation between you two, right? So I got the feathers. That is medicine. That's just as magic as a spell bath. You know, if you're one that finds feathers all the time, those are your medicines. Make smudge wand or hang a prayer feather, or, you know, like there's something you should be doing with them. So for our healing ability this year, the universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with myself. So just take a moment, give yourself a breath. No, you don't have to go into meditation. Is there a particular candle shape, size, color you're supposed to use? White is always good. You can get general on any type of white. You can even carve names on it, what you want healed. That's something we always do in magic, is carve things. You can use a tea light. You can use spell candles specifically made. It really does not matter. What matters is just feel it. You feel a vibration. It's magical for you. Your magical divine self said, yes, that medicine's going to work for you. Okay. So any type of candles. If you go to my website, you'll see I got all kinds of healing candles, carving candles. It doesn't matter. Emergency candles, you know, those packs of 5, those work great. Anything else? I don't think I'm missing anything. Let me just take one quick peek and then I'll let you go. Yeah, there was more on the aura. So what I think I'll do is I'm just going to post that on the video and then you can look at it there. Or you can message me and I'll send you the sheet. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I'll just post it for you. And then you can take a look at it. But for now, start at your element. See if that works. Move into your horoscope sign. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Oh, quick, I've got to do this quick and then I'll let you go. So the elements as well. There is days or your signs. So say you're low in energy, you can always go to the day of the week that suits you. So Mondays, Capricorn and Leo, those are awesome magical days for you. Tuesday, Cancer and Taurus. Magic on Tuesdays, great. Wednesdays, Pisces and Virgo. You want to do your healing on that day. And a lot of people will make that their sacred time. Like every Monday night, they'll light their candle and just relax. Thursdays are Libras and Aries. Fridays, Sagittarius and Aquarius. Saturdays is Scorpio and Gemini. And Sunday, we can do magic anytime, any Sunday, for anyone we want. Sundays are sacred and very magical when it comes to doing magic on our signs or healing. And that's one of the reasons why Sunday became a religious day as well, which it could be another video. Either that, I am finished with you tonight. I hope you got a lot of new information, things that you can use. And with that, thank you for joining me. Try some of this stuff. Give me some feedback. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.